everyone, and welcome to our monthly one-shot. It's a shorter version of a issue that we have of our monthly Dive Into the Longbox. Joining me, as always, your favorite Canadian, Ajax, the Apex reader the past couple days. Am I right?
The Apex reader. That's interesting.
Yeah, you've been reading some books. You're back on the reading flow. Because I remember during your move, this is the first show since your move, right?
Is it?
Maybe?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I don't remember if you moved in December. I don't remember.
Yeah, but I moved in like in the middle of December. When did we do our podcast in December?
I have
Towards
no
the end
idea.
of December?
I think it was.
I don't remember either.
I think it was beginning December. I think.
If it was beginning, yeah, I would have still been. Yeah, at my old house.
Yeah, I'd have to look back to see, but. We've both been doing some reading here. We've been looking at. I've been reading some classic stuff. I've been reading a lot of image things like Girl Scouts and Jay and Silent Bob books, getting inspiration for a book me and Sinai are working on.
I read a whole paperback today.
You did? What was that? Because we weren't able to touch on your the paperbacks we were reading in the issue. What was the one you've been reading?
So I read The Monkey Prince. What I read. By Gene, I can't say his middle name, so I'll just say Gene Yang.
See, so when you sent that, I was like, "What is this?" Like I've never heard of that. Is it DC book? It was.
It is a DC book, so it's a take on, the Monkey King, which is, from what I understand, like a very famous 16th century Chinese novel.
Yeah.
The Monkey King. So he's the Monkey Prince, which is like a spin-off of the Monkey King. The first issue was kind of slow, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because it just kind of establishes Marcus, the Monkey Prince, as a character. What's interesting though is Marcus, Chinese teenager, of course. He's adopted by white parents.
Oh, really?
His parents, by the way, also happen to be fucking henchmen for the Penguin.
Of course. You are.
They're scientists for the Penguin, so they live in Gotham City. And literally the first 4 pages, we go through him. There's a thunderstorm. He's trying to sleep, but he can't really sleep.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, fucking Batman breaks into their house and he starts
what the fuck?
Batman starts beating the shit out of his parents.
He's like, "What are you doing, Batman?"
And Marcus sees it and he's like, what's going on? Why are you beating up my parents?
Like, please stop doing this, Batman.
and Batman's like, I'll come later and finish the job. It's like, Jesus Christ. Okay,
see,
Batman's
so
kind of an asshole.
I haven't been following any of the side books, but I know DC did or they're currently in the middle of their Beast World story. You would think someone like him would show up in that.
Yeah.
A book where everyone's turning into, jungle creatures like bears and wolves and things like that. You would think Monkey Prince would show up at some point to be like, "Hey, what the fuck is going on here? Let me fight
Prince
some of these guys."
Is still such a new character.
Yeah.
Because I think his first appearance might have been towards the end of 2021.
I will say though, when I saw the book at first, I thought it was like an indie book because it is so unique and different looking. I was like, "Whoa, what is that?" And when I saw it on your picture, or when you told me, I looked it up and I was like, "Whoa, DC! This looks like something that like an Image would put out because it's so I feel like it's a very unique looking book and character. I wouldn't expect that from a DC or Marvel and 2020, whatever the 2020s, whenever it came out. You know what I mean? Because it's so different.
Yeah, it's cool. I thought the first issue was slow, but then it picked up once Marcus got his powers and he became the Monkey Prince.
Yeah.
There's actually a panel where I'll go back. Marcus, when he's in high school at Gotham High, because he goes to high school in Gotham City, he gets bullied a lot. He gets picked on a lot. But once he gets his powers, he goes and he beats up his bullies, right?
Yeah. As one would do.
As one would do, and then Batman either got word that this fuck, hey, this guy who looks like a monkey's beating up these fucking high school kids. Like, you got to do something about it.
He was like,
You
God
know,
damn it, I
like
gotta go beat this kid's ass now.
so Batman comes in with Damian, with Robin. He comes in with Damian, and they start like beating up Monkey Prince or whatever, and then Batman takes his batarang, throws it at Monkey Prince, and he fucking decapitates his head.
What?
He does.
What?
And I'm reading this, and I'm like, oh wow, I didn't think that was gonna happen. Okay,
That's a curveball.
but the explanation is because the Monkey Prince was so afraid of Batman because he saw Batman beat up his parents as a kid.
Yeah.
And basically how it works is the more afraid that the Monkey Prince is, the more fragile he is,
Yeah.
in a sense. So the more fragile he is, the easier it is to, I guess, decapitate him. Is the best way that I can put him, where I can put it. So Batman throws the batarang, decapitates his head, and then the Monkey Prince is he's had a mentor this whole time, which just so happens to be the school janitor. But the school janitor is a lot more than just a school janitor.
Is that the pig-looking guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
him. But the school janitor is a lot more than just a school janitor. He's also, he can transform into a pig with superpowers.
Dude,
But
by the way,
he helps.
the cover for issue 1 is fucking wild. It's just Batman with his fist in the air holding Monkey Prince's dad. Just he's sweating over him, about to fucking punch him in the face. And his mom has like a lamp about to throw it at Batman. And Monkey Prince is there like, what the fuck? And he's dropping his toy.
Yeah.
It is a very dark looking cover, man. I love the review too. Monkey Prince #1 review. Batman terrorizes a child.
That's basically that's what the first issue is. That's what the first issue is. And I mean, it's not, you don't know that Monkey Prince Marcus's parents work for the Penguin up until like the middle back half of the issue.
Yeah.
So then they go into the lab and Penguin's like, how's my machine that turns people into gold? Like, how's that coming along?
How's that going? How's my project of the week?
Yeah, basically. And they're like, yeah, it's going good.
It's
like, oh, great. So I'm going to use it and I'm going to shoot this guy. And they're like, wait, what? You're going to do it right now?
Wait, you're
like,
actually going to use this?
Like, yeah, I'm going to use it right now. So then he uses it and then he fucking, basically kills the guy. And then he
As
shoots
expected.
Yeah, of course. And then he uses it again. And then it shoots the Penguin, but the Penguin turns into like this fucking ancient like golden demon.
What the hell?
So the whole comic book, the whole run, the whole like six issue run there is the Penguin as this like ancient golden demon that needs like life force to like keep himself going. However, in order for him to like retain that form and for him to, because he keeps complaining like, oh man, like I'm always so hungry no matter who I kill. Like it doesn't matter, like I just have this insatiable appetite to kill people. And his master, like the master to the ancient golden demon form tells him the only way that you're going to like cure your appetite, cure your hunger, is if you kill a superhero.
Oh,
so
shit.
In other words, the only way you're going to be able to, curb your appetite is if you fucking kill Batman.
Oh,
so you have to kill Batman. You have to kill Batman in order to stay as, the ancient golden demon.
And he's like,
but yeah, I don't want to give too much of it away.
He's like, it couldn't be like Robin.
Yeah. I don't want to give. I don't want to give too much of it away, but I would recommend it. I had fun with it. Like I said in my Instagram post, it didn't blow me away.
Yeah.
But I liked it for what it was, and I liked it enough to where I'll consider buying Volume 2 once I find it on sale.
I was like, how many volumes are there?
Only 2.
Only 2?
Because it's still, from what I know, it's still an ongoing series, from what I know.
See, I'm like, cause I wonder if how that flows into like Dawn of DC stuff. Cause I'm like,
Yeah, I don't because
Damien's now going to Gotham High in those books. He's a student at
well,
Gotham High, so I'm like, I
well,
wonder if he'll
that's
pop up.
funny you say that, Gabe, because there is a moment in the comic book where, well, Marcus turns into the Monkey Prince after he jumps into a pool, and then when he comes out of the pool, he's the Monkey Prince,
Yeah,
and they have that the school has that like on the surveillance camera.
yeah.
So the next day, Marcus's crush, I can't remember her name for the life of me, but his crush comes to the school and she's like, "Oh, hey, Marcus, this new kid at the school, he's a reporter. He wants to interview you. His name is Damien,
Ah,
and that's how they do it, where they segue where like Damien is a student at the school. He works as a
damn.
quote unquote reporter.
I wonder if it'll somehow, if they'll somehow incorporate that in. That'll be cool.
Like Monkey Prince as like a character in like the Bat universe.
Yeah, cause like because I'm trying to see if he has like anything like currently, because I'm trying to see how they would fit him into Dawn of DC right now if they are planning on doing that.
Yeah,
With that whole, because I feel like that'd be cool. He'd be a great addition because like again, when you're doing Beast World right now, where everyone's an animal, and why would you not have this character in there? You know what I mean?
yeah,
As like the forefront, because like the whole arc of that revolves around Beast Boy and like him like quote unquote dying, like Beast Boy's gone. And I'm like, I feel like incorporating a character like this is a great way to like really push him to the spotlight, but I don't think they have. I haven't read everything of Beast World yet, but I feel like that'd be like the time to do it, you know?
yeah. And I enjoyed the moments between Monkey Prince and I keep calling him the school janitor. They more or less call him Pig, like I think they more or less call him like Pigsy,
Yeah.
his mentor. I enjoy the moments between them because it kind of feels like a how could I like a slice of life anime in a sense, or
Yeah.
a better comparison maybe would be like Goku and Master Roshi, like when he
Yeah.
was a kid, and Roshi's like showing him how to harness his power, how to control it. It's kind of reminiscent to that. Um, and the book is very heavily based on like I don't know if Chinese mythology is the right word, but like it's very influenced by like Yang's like upbringing as a Chinese American,
Yeah. And incorporate that into the book.
and it's cool because I don't really know a whole lot about that culture, but Gene manages to incorporate it, and
Where
they
it feels like you
explain
do.
it to like they explain it like in the comic book to like I don't want to say like a casual reader, but like someone
People
who is
who haven't read into it or aren't experienced with it.
exactly. So like if Gene incorporates a reference, he'll put like a little cliff note there, like read this. Like if
Oh,
you
I
want to know
love
more
that.
about it, read this if you want to know more about this. And what's really cool is that they do a callback for the for the blow off. They do a callback where Batman meets up with Penguin in his ancient golden demon form.
Mm-hmm.
They meet up at the auction house, which is the first time that they ever met.
Oh, really?
That they ever had an encounter was at the auction house in Gotham City.
I'm just flipping through. I'm
This
looking
would
at some of this art, and it's pretty cool.
be like Detective Comics 40 or 41 or something like that.
I see. I see. I'm looking at an image of after he got his head cut off. Damien's like, Batman, look, it's twitching. And they cut the monkey boy. He's like, oh God, I can't breathe. He's like, oh, it must be magic. He's like, put me down. What the fuck?
But yeah,
That's funny.
so like obviously you can decapitate the Monkey Prince, but like he can put his body back together.
Yeah, like a kind of like Deadpool can do.
Yeah, it's just in the beginning, like he was panicking because he was like, "Oh my god, like this never happened to me."
I just
Like
got my head cut off.
yeah, yeah. He's like, "How do I do this? Like, how do I put my body back together?" I can't breathe. Like, this is so
Like,
much.
what is happening?
Yeah.
The art's
But
really good in this book, though.
it really is. It really is. The art is good. Um, the dialogue can be rough around the edges sometimes. It's good, but it can be
Yeah.
rough around the edges sometimes. I don't. My biggest pet peeve in comic books is when you're trying to find replacements for swear words. That's my
Yeah.
biggest pet peeve in comic books. Like, if you don't want to cuss or use swear words, just don't. But please don't try to find replacements, like replacement words
Spider-Man
for it.
2099 loves that. They're like, what the shock? Are you shocking me right now? They try to make like a new curse word.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
what
know.
the
That
fuck?
I feel like that works a little bit better. To me, what they do in Monkey Prince is, and he says it a lot in the book, is he goes, it's kind of like his catchphrase. He goes, "I'm the mother flippin' Monkey Prince." I'm just like, that's not cool, man. Like, it's not cool.
I'm the mother flipping monkey prince.
Yeah, like, it's just not cool. It doesn't have a ring to it.
You're like, dude, back to the drawing board. Back to the
Yeah,
drawing board.
no. But I liked it. I liked it enough to where
You wanna pick up another volume.
I want to pick up the second volume, but I also want to read, because Gene also did. I think it's officially it's called New Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But what New Superman is it's basically a retelling of Superman, like the Superman story, but as a Chinese, like a teenager.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not Clark. It's a original character
Yeah.
who becomes Superman and
I've
then
heard about that. I've
forms.
heard really good things about that too.
Same here, and I want to read it, and especially after I read Monkey Prince and I enjoyed it. But basically, what it leads to is that the Chinese Superman forms the Justice League of China.
Oh, that's cool.
So then you have Chinese Batman, Chinese Wonder Woman, so
Yeah.
on and so forth.
Damn, that's cool.
But yeah, and I like the idea of, like, man, what if you have a Chinese, sorry, not a Chinese league, a Justice League in every continent,
Mm-hmm.
every continent of the world. Like, that sounds interesting to me.
I mean, the whole world's protected at that point.
Yeah.
all you really need is one Superman. But if every continent has their own Superman, like, oh, dude, I got nothing to worry about.
It's like, fuck, what are you gonna do?
Life's good, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So,
But-
sorry, yeah, I don't really get to
No, I'm
explain a lot
glad.
about what I read, because, like, lately I just haven't been reading a lot. But now this month I'm like,
You're like,
I
I'm
don't know, I'm
back,
like forcing
baby.
myself to get back into reading and get through my backlog.
Yeah, that's my thing too. My backlog keeps increasing because like what I've been doing is
I
like
keep buying stuff.
yeah. So like what I've been doing is like I've been buying like complete runs of series. So like
Okay.
things that don't have like a trade paperback. So I just bought
Yeah.
all 4 issues of the first miniseries of Super Patriot. Read through those. I just picked up the whole series of Sidekick through Image Comics. Their book called Sidekick. It looks really interesting. Don't know what it's about, but it always would pop up at the comic book shop. So I said, fuck it. I went to this new shop that had it. I think they had every book besides number 2 and 8 for $1. So I grabbed
No
all
shit.
of them up. Yeah, I grabbed all of them up. Went to the other shop I usually go to. By the way, rest in peace. Remember that shop that was like 10 minutes next to me?
Yes.
They closed, man. They closed. The one that was inside the Bed Bath & Beyond, they fucking
Oh.
closed. Because they had a store in Enfield, which is northern Connecticut, and the other one in Manchester, which is like middle of Connecticut. So
Yeah.
everything from that Manchester one is back up in the Enfield store. So which is their original store. They just moved everything back up there.
And
But
Enfield is like 35 minutes.
it's
away
about
from
30
here,
minutes,
right?
but I don't mind making the drive up there, especially for that store. I don't mind. Everyone
Yeah.
working there is cool. Like every time they see me, they're like, "Oh, good to see you again." They're really cool. And they told me why they had to close it. They were like, "Yeah, people just kept calling out. They just didn't want to work." And I called my brother. I was like,
Oh my
"Imagine
God.
having the chance to work at a comic book shop and you just constantly call out. Are you serious? Do you know how many people want to do that? Who like what? It blew my mind. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like that is
I would.
obscene.
Yeah,
If they
I'm in
paid
agreement with
me,
you. I would love to work at a comic book store. The only problem is that you don't get paid a lot.
that's the thing. I would work
Yeah.
there, dude. I would work there open to close. I'd be there from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday, every day of the week. if I got paid the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if they just paid me 40 hours a week. If I got paid the same, I'd be there in a heartbeat. I would work free overtime. I don't care. You know
No,
what I
I'm with
mean?
you.
Because, like, huh?
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, like, I get to spend time in a comic book shop. That's all I want to do. So when I heard that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I can't even imagine that. And that pissed me off, man. The whole ride home, I called my brother. He was mad, too, because we liked that store. We're like, those motherfuckers. Like, god
And then you're
damn.
like, what if we bought that vacant lot
So I
and
found
turned it into
out.
another comic book store?
I found out from my father that vacant lot is $14,000 a month.
Ooh,
And which, if you're Bed Bath and Beyond, that's affordable.
sure.
But if you're a comic book shop taking up that spot, it's not.
It's
yeah.
amazing they were there for as long as they were.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Damn.
They had to change some of their policies too. Like, you can't buy just one book if you're not paying in cash, because they found out they were losing a shit ton of money on like credit card fees if people were just buying. Because they, not only do you get a new book, whatever book is new that week, you get immediately 20% off of that book. So any new book, I never pay full price for, because every book's 20% off each. So instead of paying like $32 for my book lot, it only comes out to about like 28 or something. So I'm like, oh, fucking yeah, no brainer. It's basically get like a couple books for free at that point. But because they do that, they had to either get rid of the 20% or get rid of, or like limit it to like a $5 minimum. And they just decided to go $5 minimum. And I was like, oh, that's fine. I don't care. And they told me, they go, it's a $5 minimum. I was like, oh, I'll just go grab another book. Like, okay. Oh, no, I have to buy another $3 comic book. Fine, whatever. I don't mind.
Yeah.
So I ended up grabbing the facsimile, the reprint of Wolverine #1 that they had, that Marvel put out a couple weeks ago. I was like, fuck it. So I grabbed that and was like, whatever. But today, Ajax, we're looking at this website called Collider. They like to make top 10 articles. When you look up Collider top 10 Spider-Man, they have about 1 million Spider-Man top 10 lists.
Oh, of course.
This one's an interesting one for people that listened to the last issue of the monthly Dive Into the Longbox. We had Robert Martyr on, and we were talking about our favorite Spider-Men. This is Collider's list of top 10 alternate Spider-Man versions. So this is including side characters, too. People that aren't given the mantle of Spider-Man. It's kind of like the Spider-Universe, or of who is the best. And we're going to take a look at this. So on the top of their list here, they have number 10, which I agree with, is a great character, Silk, coming in at number 10.
Yeah, definitely.
Silk is a very cool character.
In the beginning, though, she didn't feel like a cool character. It just felt like, oh man, here we go. Now they're making another fucking
another
Spider-Man character. Yeah. But once they fleshed her out, it was like, yeah, Silk is cool. I got no problem with her.
Definitely probably one of my favorite designs too for a female Spider-Man character.
Very cool. Yeah, very nice design. Really nice costume.
I want to see her live action so badly, dude. I think Silk could be a character that could be a home run in live action that they just aren't touching yet.
I think so.
So
I think so too. And I mean, I feel like that could help the Asian representation in the MCU.
That was another thing too. I'm like, Marvel loves to do like their diverse, female-led things. It's like, why not choose the ones that work in the books? Like Silk works. Silk is good.
Yeah.
Even though people don't like the Marvels really, but people like Kamala. Kamala works. But and that's why I'll always stand on the hill of, if you want to introduce an X-Men story with, if you don't, for some reason, I know how Marvel is, they don't want to use any main characters at first. If you want to introduce it with a side character, why not Jubilee? Shine some light on her,
Honestly. Yeah.
Shine some light on her. I think that is a great character if you were to do that with. And that's what they did in the cartoon. When they're introducing the first few episodes, it was about her getting her powers and the X-Men finding her, and like, just make that into a movie. And that's how you introduce your X-Men, but have them show up already as the X-Men. That would be kind of cool.
The last X-Men Fox movie there, they had a good actress playing her. I think her name is Lana Condor.
Yes, she's great.
She's a good actress, and I mean,
she looked like her enough.
She did. Put the jacket, the glasses on her. I'd roll with her. I'd bring her back for the MCU.
You said I'd roll with her. I was like, hey yo, what the?
I didn't mean it like that. But
That's bad that
but
my
I
mind went
mean,
to that immediately. I was like, hey yo.
but but I mean, she's pretty good looking. Though.
So number 9 on this Collider list is the Spider from Earth 15. This is a Peter Parker who was a mass murderer and merged with the Spider symbiote.
This is actually a Spider-Man that I'm not familiar with.
I wasn't either until I saw this list, which gave rise to a rage-filled and ruthless version of the character, which we talked about on the last issue about how Spider-Man could be one of the strongest Marvel characters, but because he holds himself back, he isn't. This is if he didn't hold back, from what I'm getting from this. He was a literal mass murderer.
This is what if Garth Ennis wrote Spider-Man?
Literally. What if Spider-Man was in The Boys? Number 8 is one I joked around about in the issue. Spider Zombie from the Marvel Zombies books.
Yes.
This one was always funny to me. Don't know why, but it was always just funny to me seeing Zombie Spidey. And I love the redo of the covers. Where like I remember they redid the wedding cover. Let me see if I can find that. Marvel Zombies Spider-Man wedding. And I remember seeing it in a store and it kind of spooked me because it's in the same pose but Spider-Man's standing and Mary Jane's insides are just ripped apart and she's just fucking, her face is pale and lifeless. It's so creepy. And I remember seeing it as a kid being so spooked by it. It's really morbid, and it has like that uncanny Marvel Zombies art style that became popular with the books.
Sure,
where it kind of looks like a painting. Here, I'm sending it to you now so you can see. But yeah, I always thought that shit was cool. There's like a chunk eaten out of the heart. But they actually made a statue of this cover too.
Really?
They made a statue of this cover, which I thought was really, really cool. But yeah, number 8 on this list does go to Spider Zombie. Number 7, they have Cosmic Spider, probably one of the underrated designs, I'd say, for Spider-Man.
Oh, such a cool design, and I mean, easily the most powerful Spider-Man.
Yes, I highly agree. I always thought this Spider-Man was around for much longer than he was. When I saw he showed up in 2014, I was like, really? I could have sworn he was around before that.
Yeah, 2014. Damn, like only 10 years.
Like, I'm trying to think. I'm like, was he not?
Recent.
Because something told me, this is like a Mandala thing. Because I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw Cosmic Spider, like, in an old comic or something, or like in a Spider-Man game from back in the day. Like, am I going crazy?
Right.
Like, when I saw that as 2014, I was like, no way, dude, no way. But yeah, it's true.
It almost feels like you might have seen him in like the PS1 game. There's like an alternate costume or something, you know.
Like, what is this? What if Spider-Man had kept his cosmic powers, but like, what issue? Like, what is this, a fan-made thing I found? I don't know. What is this? What if number? I'm gonna research this. What if number 31? No. What if he kept his cosmic powers?
But
this
didn't
was
he
not
actually
2014.
get cosmic powers from the Fantastic Four?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is Cosmic Spider-Man. Now I'm confused, man.
Because I mean, he worked a lot with the Fantastic Four, like his early days.
Okay, Spider-Man first getting cosmic powers in Spectacular Spider-Man number 158. Spider-Man gains basically, quote, all of the powers, but with no explanation. Yes, this is what I'm seeing, and it's definitely 90s Spider-Man art. So, see, I'm not crazy. Collider might be wrong on this one. Unless we're talking about maybe he got an individual run as Cosmic Spider-Man. Right. That would be a little bit more understandable. But, yeah, I'd definitely seen this motherfucker before. I'm trying to see if I can send you this so you can see. Because I saw this art and I was like, yeah, this is definitely not 2014 art. For sure.
Yeah, that looks awesome. I love that.
Number 6 on this list, a little bias here, but it's Scarlet Spider. Good old clone Ben Reilly made it onto this list at number 6. Also known as the Jackal.
Maybe the Jackal. My most favorite non-traditional Spider-Man suit.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorites. 100
Yeah.
million percent. Yes, he was created by the Jackal. Made this clone of Spidey, which is still an iconic costume and someone who's made it into current day movies for you current modern day fans. So enjoy Scarlet Spider, who comes
The
in at number
Jackal
6.
from the Spider-Man comics, not the Jackal, aka Don Callis.
Not Don Callis. Oh man. Number 5. We're now getting to the top 5 here, my friend. This is Spider-Man India. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's like Pavatir Prabhakar. I definitely said that wrong.
Yeah, and that's an alternate version of Spider-Man that I've heard about for a long time because that comic book is now 20 years old.
Is
Believe it or
it?
not. That comic book is
Wow.
now 20 years old.
Holy shit, yeah. So this is actually the same Spider-Man showed up in Into the Spider-Verse, just with a completely new design, which I think looks a lot better. It's cool with like the hair coming out and stuff.
Yes.
Because like the original design was just Spider-Man with pants.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Not super original, but I mean, I get what they were going for.
Yeah, simple. But they really knocked it out the park, I think, with the new design. It's very unique. It stands out. And like I said, it's another character for you modern fans. He's in the modern day spotlight, getting a main focus in the movies. So, very cool to see that. I like seeing all that stuff.
A book that I would like to get eventually and see how it was.
Me too. Me too. There has to be how many? Is it just one trade paperback of that? I'm guessing.
Yeah. There's actually going to be a new printing of it this year.
Oh, perfect. Yeah,
book.
so I'm gonna pick that up. There we go. Yeah, Spider-Man India. Very cool. Very cool. Coming in at number 4, Ajax. Something we've never talked about on the show. Superior Spider-Man. Coming in at number 4. This was Doc Ock as Spider-Man, which just got a reboot, or I don't know. So I know how the last series ended with, like, Doc Ock leaving his body, leaving Peter's body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when they announced that it was coming back, I'm like, how?
How are they going to do it?
How are they going to do that again? I still don't know.
I have new series.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't read it yet, so I have no idea. Granted, it is still early on. I believe they're only in issue 2, I think, right now. If even that, they might still be waiting for issue 2 to come out. I don't remember, just because I haven't been following it. But I'm very intrigued to see how they keep that going.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is one that has taken over the Spider-Man fandom and social media and Comic-Cons. Spider-Punk is one that literally he showed up out of nowhere and blew up.
What an awesome design.
Very cool.
Such a cool design. Like,
very cool.
What if Spider-Man was in a punk rock band?
Yeah, what if he was fighting the system and being just a badass punk rocker? And I think again, I hate to bring back to the Spider-Verse, but all these characters are showing up in the movies now. But I think the way they portrayed him in that was really cool too. Just like a very don't give a fuck kind of attitude. You know what I mean? Rebellious. He was cool.
So what if Spider-Man actually played guitar for the Sex Pistols?
Yeah. So that is another one where I've seen some art pieces from the books, and I'm like, I got to pick these books up just because it looks cool. Each book, it looks like a separate like art piece, which I think is really cool. So I really got to pick those up.
I haven't read any of the Spider-Punk stuff, but I want to.
No, I haven't.
The design is just so interesting to me.
I haven't really like dipped toes into like alternate Spider-Man stories, just because it's like. It's for the same reason. It's a lot to keep up with, and I'm like, I feel like I have to understand all these other characters to understand this one.
Sure.
And I also feel like if I'm reading one, I have to read the other. If that makes sense, like I feel like I can't miss out. So that's why I just avoid them all, so I don't have to worry about it and stress myself out.
Yeah.
Number 2, I immediately take back what I said because I do read Spider-Man 2099. And that is a fun read because he is number 2 on this. Miguel O'Hara, very popular Spider-Man. Again, now at the forefront. In the books, he's not as like well, he's kind of like a bitter douche, but he's not like a bad guy. For people that watch the movies. In the movies, they really portray him as just this just unrelenting, like ununderstanding bad guy, which in the books he's bitter, but he's not, what is wrong with you, Miles? Are you a fucking moron? I'm going to kill you. He's not like that,
Yeah, he's not Omni-Man beating the shit out of his son, you know what I mean? Like, tank, Think, Mark, think.
You know what's funny? When you say that, they kind of made Spider-Man 29 the Omni-Man of the Spider-Verse movies.
Yeah.
Where you're like, hey, it's Spider-Man, and he's like, fuck you. There's some shit you just can't undo, dumbass. Like, oh my god, Spider-Man, stop. It is said here he also happens to be one of the most powerful Marvel characters. Well, you want to know what I say to that? We're gonna type in Spider-Man 2099 Miguel O'Hara, because luckily on the Marvel wiki the Marvel fandom, they do supply us, Ajax, with the power grid that used to be on the back of trading cards, and we can see his intelligence is at a 4, his strength also at a 4. His speed, also out of 4. Durability 3, energy projection 2, and fighting skills 2. Now, what is this on a scale of? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think. Here we go. It's on a scale of 7. So he is, in fact, average. Just an example of some people that are rated in the 7s. Simply, if we're looking at this for what? Okay. I typed in 7 and see who popped up, and Rogue pops up. And her power grid, look at this shit. I'm going to just share it with you. It shows her at like 3, 5, 5, 6. Everything else, her variations, depending on whose power she absorbs, immediately at a 7.
Oh my
So in fact, if we're looking at this, literally, Rogue may be the strongest Marvel character of all time. Because depending on who the strongest character is, she could just absorb their powers and become them for a period of time. I saw that, I was like, what? She's just instantly a 7. So if we're going off of these rankings, even looking at this, Rogue is stronger than Spider-Man 2099. I'm sorry, Collider, but he's not the strongest of the Marvel characters. He's not the most powerful. I'm pretty sure someone like Adam Warlock might be stronger than him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Adam Warlock would wipe the fucking floor with Spider-Man doing
it. Yeah. Imagine him like webbing around and Punisher just shoots him in the head and he's like, oh well.
It's like, no skin off my ass.
And this is number 1, Collider's number 1 Spider-Man version of all time, which I think is something we will agree with. I think people listening will agree with. It is Ultimate Spider-Man. Good old Ultimate Spidey with his muscly, very thin body, big old head, very cool hair, very hot girlfriend, very old Aunt May.
But very, contemporary for the time. Like Miles is now.
Yes.
Miles is very contemporary for the kids and teenagers of today.
Yes.
Ultimate Spider-Man was very contemporary for the kids and teenagers of, for us, of the 2000s.
He was the man. He still is the man. If you don't like reading comics, then go pick up the Ultimate Spider-Man video game. Oh my god, it is so good.
Oh, so
it's like
good.
Playing a comic book. It is so much fun. That is a character that I was like, he's not in the Spider-Verse movies?
Actually, he is.
I know the one from like the cartoon showed up, right?
So,
if I'm correct.
Okay, from what I understand, the first Spider-Verse movie, right?
Yeah.
The Kingpin Kingpin who kills Spider-Man. That Spider-Man is Ultimate Spider-Man.
So that blonde one's supposed to be him?
I believe so.
Because I was confused when I saw he had blonde hair. I was like, who? What?
Where they do like the funeral, right? For, Spider-Man's dead, blah, blah, blah. That's apparently Ultimate Spider-Man.
Is it? Interesting.
From what I understand. Because I know
not Ultimate Spider-Man show. What was that other Spider-Man show? Where he had like a weird shaped head. Spider-Man
weird shaped head
cartoon. He had a weird shaped head and like really skinny arms. Here it is. Spectacular Spider-Man. He showed up in the movie.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spectacular. And people love that show. Like they will write home about that show, but I've never seen Spectacular Spider-Man.
I watched it. I thought it was just as good as the 90s show. That's
really?
How good I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah, see, this one here, this is the one that shows up. When I saw him in Into Spider-Verse, I was like, oh, what the... what the fuck? Let me send this to you. And Justine was like, which one's that? And I was like, what? Because even I was like, I didn't watch the cartoon, but like I know that one. Yeah, he just
Right.
looks like that. He was short and everything, like in the show. Like they made him real little. I was like, yo, like they made him look like the show.
Yeah, he looks really oddly proportioned.
And they made him oddly proportioned in the movie, which is perfect. But I will say, all these Spider-Men, while Ultimate Spider-Man was mine growing up, and they did take a lot from the comics, obviously, for this list, the fact that 90s cartoon Spider-Man is not on this list breaks my heart a little bit.
Does it?
That Peter Parker, I love that. I love that show.
I love that show as well.
It was so good. I was so upset. I mean, he might be in the last one, but I was like, damn, they put like the 60s Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse movie, and I was like, where's the 90s one? He didn't show up once in the movie. Like, even like I want to see him with like that, the nice hair, like the brown jacket, the tucked in shirt. Yep. It was a tucked in polo with the jeans. Mm-hmm. Like, give me that Spider-Man. I was like, me and my brother were brainstorming after that movie, and we were like, of course, like they're creating this team to stop Miguel from finding Miles, and they're trying to get Miles back. And we're like, what if the Spider-Man to bring him back and save him and defeat Miguel is the 90s cartoon Spider-Man? Like, how cool would that be?
Yeah,
it probably won't happen, but I want it to be the case.
It would be crazy, especially if you can get the original voice back.
That's the thing. I'm like, that's it. I was like, even my brother told me, he was like, even if you don't put him in the costume and he looks like a regular Spider-Man, because the cartoon was just a regular Spider-Man, but if we hear the voice and it's that Spider-Man, it's like, if you know kind of thing. That's what I want.
What I want for the next Spider-Verse movie, and it wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. I don't know if you could elaborate it, but give me PS1 Spider-Man.
Yes.
The never saw Spider-Man.
Yes, with like the blocky body,
the blocky hands and the blocky
Yes, with like the no webs on the suit. It's just red.
Because if you do that, then you can do Monster Ock, which is Carnage and and Doc Ock together. You can do that.
Was that only in the games?
It was only in the game, yeah.
Wow. Damn, dude.
Venom was so funny in that game.
I remember too, because like there were screenshots coming out of like when they were screenshotting all the Spider-Man in like the pictures, and people are like, "Look, it's PS1 Spider-Man," and it was obviously like a woman running, and I'm like, and no one's in the comments saying like, "Hey, that's obviously a woman running. That's not PS1 Spider-Man." And I'm like, no one's pointing that out. And I'm like, does everyone really think this is... Did no one play the PlayStation 1 game? Like, what is going on? Yeah. The costumes, it's not even the costume. I'm like, what is this? Who is this person? Why do people think this is him? I don't know. But yeah, so that is Collider's top 10 list for who they feel are the top 10 best Spider-Man. And it's a list that I actually wouldn't disagree with.
I think it's a good list.
I'm not crazy, Ajax. Cosmic Spider-Man's in the Spider-Man PS1 game. I am not crazy. He is an alternate costume. So
I was right.
You were right. Haha.
Wow, okay.
He is not 2014 created. That is not his first appearance. Liars, Collider.
Maybe his first appearance as a...
My guess is it's his first appearance in like his own ongoing issue, maybe?
As an alternate universe Spider-Man?
Probably, yeah. I'm guessing the other one, like, I don't know, like the other one wouldn't be like a what if. Like they did a what if based off of it, but it was in the books. So I don't know. I'm not too sure, but we have learned that we are not crazy. It's not a Mandela effect.
Yes.
He was one of the many costumes. With also Spider-Man Unlimited is in that game too.
Oh, that's right.
Spider-Man Unlimited, Cosmic Spider-Man, Miguel's in the game. Both versions of Ben Reilly. So the hoodie suit and the future suit with the silver gauntlets. Black suit Spidey, and then Spider-Man in like a black jacket. It's supposed to be like, I guess it's a symbiote suit, but he's in like street clothes. It's odd, but there's also some mods, and someone put Superior Spider-Man in, which I think is really cool. So... very cool. I'm glad we were able to squash that and figure it out because it would have driven me crazy. That legit blew my mind when I saw it. I was like, no way, dude. No way. Well, as we wrap this up here, Ajax, we do have a comic of the month, and it's highlighting something cool, man. Something my dad brought home to me one day. I'm still trying to figure out where these came from because these are interesting, Ajax. These were called the Spider-Man Collectible series. And if you look, they have volume numbers on it, so they're numbered. There's a certain amount of them. I believe there's like 25, I think. I'm missing quite a bit. I started issue 4, but I have all the way up to like issue like 24 here. But I started issue 4. But if you look, it's interesting because this cover is a cover that was never printed before. This is a unique cover for Spider-Man, and I thought when I found these, I was like, oh yeah, these were like original stories, right? And first of all, when you open these, I'm being careful because, Ajax, these are made out of newspaper paper. They are very flimsy newspaper. So it feels like I'm flipping through a newspaper. And if you look at the back, it is talking about how you can order the Spider-Man Collectible Series issues right now for a total of $40. You get all 24 issues. So it actually goes up to 24. But in these, I'm guessing, if I can remember correctly, these were sold with newspaper, like actual newspapers. They were giving these out. Because we definitely didn't have a subscription to this. I can tell you that. We didn't have subscriptions. The only subscription we had was the WWE magazine, and that was it.
Right.
But if you look, it's cool. So it's this unique cover of like Doc Ock and Spidey, another cool unique art piece inside, but the art in the comic is an actual old Spidey comic from back in the day.
Right.
And you can tell the time frame of this because they are promoting none other than Dark Tower. In the back. So this is from 2006, and I was looking online to see if people like knew where they came from, and everyone kept mentioning newspapers and with TV ads, like, or when you subscribe to like Cox Cable or something, or like Verizon Wireless, they would like send you a comic, which I was like, huh, interesting. I don't remember because even when I'm holding this, it just folds in your hand like a like a newspaper. And these are the thinnest bags and boards I have in my collection because it's just so thin. And I thought these were something that I thought only I had. Like, I thought it was like a... This doesn't even go back in because it's so fucking fragile. It's like it's folding up. But I thought only I had these until I went online. And, dude, these go for, like, money now.
Really?
People are selling, like, their complete ones for, like, $80, $100, selling all 24 issues, and I'm like, what the fuck? I went to the comic book shop, and I was like, oh, they had some issues I was missing, and they were like $5 each, and I was like, all right, I'm not paying $5 for like newspaper paper, that can break.
Yeah.
But I was like, Jesus Christ, like I'm missing issues 1 through 3, from this, I believe, which I'm definitely not going to be able to find number 3 or number 1. Because I think number 1 is the actual Spider-Man number 1 cover where he's like in the air and the Fantastic Four's around him.
Right.
But all these are just reprints of old Spidey comics. It was a way for kids to read about Spider-Man, which I thought was really cool, and read some old stories.
Now, I wonder, you remember when I told you that I read the first appearance of the Punisher?
Yes.
In Spider-Man. I wonder if they have that.
So that was something I was actually going to look up right now with you to see if Marvel had collectible series for other characters. Because they must have. They couldn't have done it just for Spider-Man, right? Because when I look it up, it keeps showing me Spider-Man issues. Because I would think this would be like printing money at that point. You're printing for nothing on newspaper. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you do multiple characters? Why wouldn't you do Punisher? Why wouldn't you do Daredevil? All these other guys. I'm looking through. It keeps showing me Spider-Man though, but man, something I don't know. I feel like that's a missed opportunity for them to not do that. Yeah, I'm not sure because I know the Punisher one I read of that same one, that Spider-Man issue, was I believe it was one they sold with one of the Toy Biz figures when they had Marvel Legends, and they would put a comic book with it. I think that's the one they put with Punisher, if I'm correct, because I have one that says like not for resale. My Punisher book, I gotta find it, but it was definitely like a resell. Yeah, it is. So if you bought it's funny if you bought the Punisher from the movie Marvel Legends figure, it came with the Amazing Spider-Man reprint. I wonder if that's what you read. Because it looks like this. It looks just like it, but It has the similar black outline that these collectible series have, but the back of it is like
Yeah.
an advertisement for the Toy Biz figures. It's like buy it from this wave, and it shows everyone in the series on the back.
Okay. That makes sense, but like I didn't have the figure. But I
Oh,
might have had that comic though. I might have had that like that reprint of it,
because
I suppose.
I've bought Marvel Legends repaint comics through comic book shops. Because
Right.
a lot of the times that's the easiest way to get them because they would like resell classic books. Like if you got the comic book Punisher, it came with Warzone #1 of him shooting the
Oh,
gun with all the
cool.
bullets everywhere.
Yeah.
But like if you don't own that Amazing Spider-Man book, getting this Punisher is like the best thing to do because you get the book and a cool figure with it. So I think even like some of the resale versions of this book are like pricey now, which is insane to me. Like even like when I saw how much these collectible series books go for, I was like, I feel like a lot of people don't even know these exist, let alone how much they go for.
Yeah.
Spider-Man collectible series, like it's crazy. Like how much is just volume one's probably I'm guessing like a $5 book. Volume one, $15, $10, $55. $50 for the whole series. So yeah, the book itself is like a $15 book for #1, and the #1 is it's actually Amazing Fantasy.
Right.
That's what #1 is for these books. Number two is #3 is that Amazing Spider-Man #1 with the Fantastic Four. So yeah, so I mean, hey, if my the way to get my hands on Amazing Fantasy is to locate my old collectible series, I can knock that off my list that I mentioned on the issue
Right.
because I would technically own it because they're full books inside, full books, just all in newspaper print. So I would say, comic companies, if you want to get some of your old books out there, look how thin this is, man. Like you don't even see the book inside. Like the board is thicker than the book.
Yeah.
Crazy. Um, this is a very cost-effective way for people to get their books. So if companies want to be nice, this is the way to go. I'd say bring these back. I think these would be really cool things to like knock out some main series that people missed out on. Very unique, very different, especially. I feel like no one does stuff like this anymore, so it'd be very cool.
I mean, if you print it on newspaper quality paper, it's very easy to recycle.
Very easy to recycle, yeah. Very, very easy. So, you know what? I'm an advocate. Bring back the collectible series. I was like, bring them back and even put them in like that's your chance to put these in like cereal boxes and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Bring back comics that way because that's how a lot of kids found comics was like going to the grocery store and going to a spin rack. They don't got those anymore at grocery stores, sadly. Put some comics and some
Yeah.
cereals.
Exactly.
Kids still love their like fruity pebbles and stuff. Throw a book in there. Get them into reading.
Yeah.
So, someone has actually custom made a trade paperback collecting every single one of these collectible series into one custom made, like fancy looking, hard covered trade paperback.
That's cool.
Very cool. So, there we go, Ajax. Ajax, well, that was our one shot, man. We talked about a lot in this one shot, shockingly.
We did. I
We went,
actually got to cover a comic book that I read,
yes.
which
And
doesn't happen often, but I'm trying to force myself to get back in the habit of
get back into that reading flow again.
because like I told Gabe before we went live, I was like, recently I've been playing a lot of Midnight Suns, and that's been taking up a lot of my time.
That's me. So like, I was playing a lot of Spider-Man too, on my PS5, and I was like, it was taken away from my reading. So I was like, all right, I gotta
Yeah.
crack down on my reading, and I haven't touched my PS5 in a couple days or in like a week. So I'm like, fuck, I'm like halfway through the game. So I'm like, I just gotta fuck it. I gotta finish it. I gotta get through this game so that I can focus on getting games like Cyberpunk and all that and diving into those and Midnight Suns. So
That's the thing about being a nerd like us is we don't just have one hobby. We have multiple hobbies.
multiple. And all this, we're trying to balance like watching wrestling. Like yesterday, I was watching AEW while reading Grendel. Like,
Yeah.
and I was turning it up for the promos, and then during matches, I was muting the TV and reading and like looking back up during the matches and stuff. I was trying to
That's a great
multitask.
idea, actually. I should
I
do
was
that.
trying to multitask. And like during when they went to picture in picture, right back into my book, you know?
I should start reading whenever the Kingdom comes out.
I was reading during during that segment. It was muted. But yeah, so I try to multitask as much as possible. Justine's the same way too with her actual books. She'll do a bunch of multitasking with that. So,
Right.
listen, man, that's how nerds be, man. Whether you're reading books, whether you're reading comics, playing games, we're nerds through and through. So that's how we love doing this. We live for this. We live and bleed for this. We would die for this. But we thank all of you for listening to the monthly dive into the long box. We are approaching a year anniversary of the monthly dive into the long box. 12 months straight of fun issues. We've talked about so much, and we're going to be covering another movie review, and it's going to be the Gen 13 movie review, honoring 30 years of Gen 13 as they made their series debut in 1994, in February of 1994 through Image Comics. So celebrating that with their cartoon, which I believe came out in 98?
Somewhere around that.
Somewhere around there. It was a couple
90s.
years later. Yeah, it was definitely after the book came out. But so yeah, we're gonna check that out. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So look out for that. And we will have a comic of the month for next month, but we'll see what that is when we get there. So we hope you guys enjoyed this. We also want to thank Robert Martyr for joining us for our issue that we had. If you guys didn't check that out, definitely go check that out. That was probably one of the most fun episodes we had. So definitely go listen to that and give him a follow. But Ajax,
and will we or will we not have a special guest for the movie?
We may.
We shall see.
We
Tune
may.
in.
We like
Tune
having
in.
a certain special guest when it comes to reviews. We love getting an outside perspective. The plan is to hopefully have them back on, but you will have to wait and see who that is returning. You'll have to wait till next month. You guys take care and stay safe.